Capcom versus SNK 2. Here we go. The Millionaire Fighting 2001. What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001. The road to victory is not an easy one. The champion team will need more than luck to win this tournament. They will have to demonstrate a keen mind and steady nerves in order to defeat the competition. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. All right. Next location is Nairobi. Live and let die. Fight! This battle is about to explode. Fight! With a sneaky surprise attack. This battle is about to explode. Fight! This battle is about to explode. Fight! Go for broke! Fight! You can feel it come before the
行くぞ。
This battle is about to explode. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round. This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! Surprise attack at the start of the round. This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! The Millionaire Fighting 2001. What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001. But the road to victory is not an easy one. The champion team will need more than luck to win this tournament. They will have to demonstrate a keen mind and steady nerves in order to defeat the competition. I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
行くぜ。
行くぞ。
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
ライオンキッ
This battle is about to explode. Fight! Hey! Came out with a sneaky surprise attack. Beautiful exampling the art of the combination attack. This battle is about to explode. Fight! Tiger kick! You can feel the calm before the storm. Tiger kick! This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! This battle is about to explode. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round. Go for broke! Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round. and let die. Fight! This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round.
Tiger kick!
Live and let die. Fight! Go for broke. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise What, you like to go? The Millionaire Fighting 2001. What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001. Next location is New York. This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! is about to explode. Fight! This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! They came out with a surprise attack. This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! The Millionaire Fighting 2001 is about to begin. Hardcore fans have been eagerly anticipating this event, and now the waiting is finally over. Check your training wheels at the door, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be one incredible battle that won't easily be forgotten. This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! Surprise attack at the start of the round. The art of the combination attack. What we like to call Big Daddy. Beautiful juggling the art of the combination attack. This battle is about to explode. Fight! The art of the combination attack. This battle is about to explode. Fight! This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! destination is London. This battle is about to explode. Fight! Live and let die. Fight! This battle is about to explode. Fight! This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! Capcom versus SNK 2. Keep rocking, baby. The Millionaire Fighting 2001. What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001. But the road to victory is not an easy one. Ready? Fight! Capcom versus SNK 2. All records are made to be broken. Capcom, check it out. The Millionaire Fighting 2001. What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001. But the road to victory is not an easy one. The champion team will need more than luck to win this tournament. They will have to demonstrate a keen mind and steady nerves in order to defeat the competition. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Next location is Live and Let Die. Fight! This battle is about to explode. Fight! This battle is about to explode. Fight! Live and let die. Fight! You can feel the calm before the storm as the round begins. Go for broke. Fight! Millionaire Fighting 2001. What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001. Next location is Aomori. This battle is about to explode. Fight! You can feel the calm before the storm as the round begins. This battle is about to explode. Fight! You can feel the calm before the storm as the round begins. Live and let die. Fight! This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
Hibiki, man.
Go for broke. Fight. Millionaire Fighting 2001 is about to begin. Hardcore fans have been eagerly anticipating this event, and now the waiting is finally over. Check your training wheels at the door, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be one incredible battle that won't easily be forgotten. The time is right when the new history is going to unfold. You can feel
この程度じゃ動じないか。
The audio is back on, guys.
live and
Oh,
let die.
I was talking to nobody.
The microphone was on. Yes, it's back on now. Oh. No, just it messed up.
Oh, hello. Stop that. Hmm? No.
Live and let die. Fight.
Ouch. So it's just not heat. It's not just heat, but it's pain too. You're saying, right?
Live and let die. Fight. This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round.
この程度じゃ動じないか。
本気で行くぜ。This battle is about to explode. Fight! This battle is about to explode. Fight! This battle is about to explode. Fight! Live and let die. Fight! Go for broke.
Yeah,
Your blocker's not very. No, Blanca's very good in this game.
nice.
Maybe that's why I just picked top tier characters. I'm doing well as Claw.
Ooh, careful. Footsies. We're playing the footsies game. I'm almost winning him. And you can play him after this, though.
Alright, sounds good.
That was one, I guess. Was that two?
That was one.
That was one game. No, no, like he said 2 out of 3. So I think that was one after. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but the further go on the question you were asking, some people can only play characters in one groove because you're more comfortable with that character, and then like I obviously play Maki in K and N.
Yeah, I know, but it's like you keep.
So he changes the groove, yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a match to remember.
Yeah, it's all personal preference in the end. So.
I also think it's
I was trying to throw you! Bullshit. Ah, yeah, stop it! Yep. That happens to me a lot. I get there's like patient. And that's like a classic kind of stay on the ground one-on-one kind of street Fighter match. Yuri. Yosuke. I didn't get my 3K there. I mean, you can't go wrong with Blanca. Unfortunately. Whoa! Chun-Li, Jesus.
This battle is about to explode. Fight! Go for broke. Fight!
Always my favorite. Good win. You got some things right. Find somebody. Like, I forgot about. I went. I think.
Oh, but there was then you went to the.
Oh, I could.
Oh.
Like. And.
Yeah, it's all good.
I was like. Then all of a sudden, like. And then all the way up to my.
Really?
And I was like, you might get a nurse. And the nurse came by and she's like, oh, yeah. So
Alright.
what's going on? And I'm like, I got
I think they know. You know. Usually, like, they can tell him.
Next location is Kinderdai.
Hey, folks.
Oh, they.
かかってきな
So you could have died right there.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
I did have a hard time.
At the start of the round.
When they just. First time I was But like, right then, at that moment, they
This battle is about to explode. Fight!
Cool.
This battle is about to explode. Fight! They came out with a big surprise attack at the start of the round. This battle is about to explode. Fight!
Yeah, I mean, that was quite bad. Like the Spyro film. They lost this. I haven't. Once I did everything.
I'll have it.
Go for broke. Fight!
Alright, game.
A lot of people are donating money too.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Community.
You stop like feel like schemes, but like they have their like logging. I'll find a.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's like,
Live and let die. Fight! This battle is about to explode. Fight! This battle is about to explode. Fight!
Don't they do trials from people before they...
Go for broke. Fight!
Oh, that would work.
Nice idea.
Like when they were like, well, did you have... Hey! Yeah, they... What's that?
The Millionaire Fighting 2001.
Of like...
What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001. The world of victory is not an easy. This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the top.
I think your mic's off, by the way.
I would put it at least top 10.
Yeah, no, your mic's off. That's our mic. PDP's this one. Here's mic 2.
Be a match to remember.
Yep, P2 mic.
Oh, you can hear me now. As I was telling the couch. The latest issue of Game Informer, Twitter is stupid, has a listing, a numbered listing of the top fighting games of all time. And I got, starting from number 22, I don't know if there's more than that, but I got 22 here. EVS2 is within the top 22. Where do you all think?
There's only 22 in there?
There might be more than 22, but I only see 4 pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I only have up to 22.
I would put CVS2 top 8.
What do you think, Dave?
Well, but I don't get it. Is it in top 4 or is it in top 22? Because you said you only have pictures of 4 of them,
No,
right?
it's a 4-page spread.
Okay.
Magazine
And
spread.
you're able to see all of them?
Well, I can see 22 of them.
Okay. Yeah, you do have a... So this is a list of 22 top fighting games, and you can only see 22 of the top 22?
Well, no. Like, they have like a list of 1 to whatever.
Oh, okay. You don't know how many.
Yeah, I don't know what the whatever is, but I know I have the 22th, second 22. So,
Okay.
I'm saying that, according to Game Informer, this month's Game Informer, EVS2 is at least the 22nd best fighting game of all time.
Okay.
I'm asking you, Classic Fighting Gamer,
Yeah.
where do you think CVS2 ranks on their list?
On their list. On their list, I would guess maybe around like number 9 or 10.
Well, I will start reading the games.
I'll say 9.
Say 9.
I say
9 or 8. Okay.
If it's my personal list, it'd be in top 5.
My personal list would be in top.
To remember.
Of course, CVS2 only beaten by Magical Touch
Super
Challenge.
Turbo.
8. It'll be Super Turbo, Third Strike, and
Yeah, I agree. Super
Marvel,
Turbo.
those games.
And Magical Touches Challenge, you both shut your mouth right now. Number 22. And like, so when I get to a certain point, I'll stop. And I'll ask you to revise your numbers based on the list. Okay, ready? So number 22. Tekken 3.
Okay.
Number 21. Soul Calibur 6. I'm already a little suspect of this, honestly.
Well, Tekken 3 is a good number for number 22.
Number 20. Mortal Kombat 10. Mortal Kombat X, if you like.
Okay.
19. Ultimate Marvel 3.
Okay.
18. Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Okay.
17. Smash Ultimate.
Okay. You said CVS2 is in the list, right? Isn't it?
What kind of goddamn list would it be if it was not on?
Well, you're mentioning Smash Ultimate on the list.
It's not gonna be on top 5, I don't think so. I know from knowing them.
I don't know, because you have like the later numbers and you're mentioning, Soul Calibur 6 and stuff like that.
Yeah, but those are relatively far down the list.
Yeah, so I'm like trying to judge like how they see games, you know?
I know, so that's why I'm going to give you.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'm
can't
gonna
tell-
read, say 3 more. There's like another half a page here.
Okay.
Right. Game Informer's list of top fighting games. Number 16. Dragon Ball Fighters.
Okay.
Number 15. 15, mind you. Mark of the Wolves.
Okay. At least they mentioned that game.
Fatal Fury, Mark of the Wolves.
Yep.
Because that's the But it's the same Mark of the Wolves. Number 14. Virtua Fighter 5.
Okay. I would actually put Virtua Fighter 5 better than 14, but I
Alright.
see where they're getting at.
Alright, so based on what you've heard so far, how confident are your picks?
I'm still pretty confident in what I'm choosing. 9th place for Series 2.
9th and 8th?
Yeah.
You're thinking definitely top 10.
Yeah, well, like I said, personally, I'd put it in top 5. But I think they're a little off.
We're trying to talk about Game Informer.
Game Informer,
So, these are the U.S. names, of course, so got in mind. We go to number 13. Darkstalkers 3. It should be Vampire Safe. We're starting to hit the heavy hitters here. Number 12.
What happened?
I did it after.
You did it right after, yep.
Number 12. King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited match.
Okay. Sounds like they actually know what they're talking about now. From even mentioning these games.
Number 11.
Wait, hold on. Do they have a name of who wrote this article?
If it is, it's on the first pages that are not in this.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Number 11. Capcom versus SNK 2.
Oh.
Juno just said in chat, clown list. Yep, I agree. You haven't even got to Magical Touch. Now, of course, we're saying that for the end. CVS 2 is 11th. Well, it depends. We'll see what they put ahead of it.
If they have Third Strike and top 5, it doesn't count. It really does.
If Third Strike's in top 5?
Yeah,
Okay.
Then it's a bad list?
it is.
So now we need to think, okay, are these games deserve to be ahead of CVS 2 or are they worse?
Okay.
Now we get to the top 10.
Top 10. And according to them, all 10 of these games are better than
According to
CVS2.
Game Informer, the 10th best fighting game of all time, Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition.
Okay. Interesting that they're picking that over Ultra Street Fighter 4. So interesting that they're picking that over Ultra Street Fighter 4. I would actually agree that it's better than Ultra Street Fighter 4, but I'm not as much of a Street Fighter 4
was kind
player.
of more experimental, I guess I would make.
Killimax here is far more of a Street Fighter 4 player. What would you say? Super Arcade Edition version 2012 or Ultra?
I would say the Arcade Edition.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but is it better than CVS 2?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No, it's not better than CVS 2.
Okay, we got a bad list here, I think.
This is gonna be a match.
Well, they mentioned Alpha 3 before they mentioned
I
some other
still
stuff.
think the 4 is better than Third Strike.
Oh boy.
Pretty damning.
Oh, we're gonna get into some controversial picks coming
Yeah,
up here, I think.
I'm surprised I blocked that. That was a pretty crazy cross-up you did there.
So, number 9, I don't think anybody will disagree with this. Number 9 is Samurai Showdown 2.
Okay.
Okay.
I would actually put Samurai Showdown 2 around number 9 place. Probably closer to maybe 8 or 7.
And I can think of at least one person in this room will definitely disagree with this.
Third Strike.
The number 8. Greatest fighting game of all time,
Uh-huh.
Nathan.
Okay.
Guilty Gear Xrd.
Okay. Which excerpt?
Whatever came out in 2014, so that would be 9.
Okay.
But basically, the Xrd series. Greatest fighting game of all time, Nathan.
Okay. Okay.
Clearly better than...
As long as they say
well,
plus R at the end, by the end, and they're fine. Which I don't think they'll mention. We'll see. Xrd isn't a bad game.
It's a magazine. Sure. Clunky and outdated because of features like this one. Number 7.
Like I said, Xrd's not a bad game.
Right, yeah, from this point forward, I don't think we can. They should, like. Yeah, I read it from the article. Number 7, Tekken 7. Can't complain about Tekken 7.
Okay.
Masterpiece. Okay. Number 6. Marvel 2.
Okay. It should not be on that list. Marvel 2 is a trash game. And he might agree.
I expected it to be at least in there.
I mean, it should be mentioned on a list, but the game's awful.
Okay.
It's just popular.
Yeah, it's popular, but not because it's a good game. It's popular because they forced it to be, popular. Like, look, H&K might be a popular game, but the game's awful. Right? It shouldn't be on a top list of fighting games.
Top 10 fighting games to bribe your opponent with. Juno says he respects Marvel too, and anybody who knows what they're talking about should respect Marvel. I've never touched Marvel in my life, but I respect the fuck out of Marvel players. Jesus Christ,
I might respect the players. The game's awful.
Okay, here we go. We're in top 5 now, everybody. Oh boy, these top 5 games now. There should be no controversy. Colby, let's see. Number 5. Soul Calibur 1.
Okay.
Best Dreamcast game of all time. But one of the best fighting games as well, they say. Number 4. Mortal Kombat 2.
Okay. Would not put Mortal Kombat 2 in the top 22 fighting games.
Number 3.
There's plenty of debate on whether Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 or Mortal Kombat 2 is the better one. I'll give them that, but I wouldn't put any Mortal Kombat
Alright.
top 22.
So, number
Well,
3.
Mortal Kombat 10 maybe.
Now, I'm going to tell you number 3.
Okay.
But then I want you to tell me what you think 2 and 1 are.
Okay.
You don't have, in order or whatever.
The problem is we all know what number 1 is. There's only one solution that any list has number 1. It has to be this one game.
Yes, Magical Tetris Challenge.
Yes.
But besides that,
So because of that, if I made a list, I would put what everybody knows number 1 is to be number 0, because it's not fair. And number 1 is always going to be that game.
actually, it's really funny. That reminded me of something that for Smash 4, the you know, like I've seen like
Juno, you stole my joke. I was gonna say World Heroes Perfect. You stole my joke. I was about to say it. World Heroes Perfect.
No, but like what you said, that like I said, that reminded me of Smash 4. It'll like the character, like the player power rankings, and then like the tier list, like who's player number 1, player number 2. But 0. Was
Oh, you're
always
choosing
number
Chun-Li
0.
twice. I forgot.
Yeah.
A cheater.
Yeah, but
I was like, I thought I killed Chun-Li. What's going on?
yeah, but they always ranked 0 at number 0 because no one could touch 0. So and then you actually had a real number 1. Like, you can never beat the 0.
Well, he is. He loves Magical Tetris.
I beg your pardon. It's 2 players. You do counter hits and there's combos. Okay, back to fighting games listed in this publication. If I can even call it that at this point. It's like number 3 on Game Informer's list. The greatest fighting games of all time. Super Turbo.
What?
Number
Super Turbo's number 3,
Number 3 Super Turbo.
and they've already said Virtua Fighter 5. Now they've said Tekken 3 and Tekken 7, so I don't know like how much crossover they have, because I would include Tekken 3 and Tekken 7 as separate games. But I mean, like, well, I mean, sure they are, but I mean, like, okay, so if we have like a top list, are we gonna have like Virtua Fighter 3, Virtua Fighter 4, Virtua Fighter 5 kind of thing in it? You know, how many degrees of separation are they willing to have? And so if I were to separate games, I know Tekken 4, Tekken 5, Tekken 6, and Tekken 7 are all different, but I almost feel like Tekken 1 through 3 is its own generation,
Why do you give it the Tekken?
including Tekken 2, Tekken Tag 1. And then Tekken 4 through 7 is kind of their own generation too. And I would say Tekken 7 is the best of that generation.
Right. So if you're gonna give it to like generational, it's like you give like, you know, the last Lord of the Rings movies all the Oscars.
Yeah.
And you're really giving it to the entire series.
Yeah, so it's based on that. And they've already said Virtua Fighter 5. So the question is, can they include Virtua Fighter 4?
Well, think about the games we haven't heard of yet. There's only 2 left.
Well, we haven't heard Third Strike, right?
Okay, what else?
They said they haven't said Third Strike?
No.
You have not yet said Third Strike.
Okay. They haven't said Street Fighter 5 either.
Oh my god, dog.
I will tell you right now,
Please.
they won't say Street Fighter 5.
Okay. Alright.
And we will note also that Street Fighter 5 was not in this.
They haven't said Blaze Blue.
No, they have not.
Nemesis VV Tag. Under Eye Inbirth, maybe? That would be in the list, right? Or was the list like 2014? Because you said it was something about.
Oh, this was this month's Game Informer. As far as I know.
Okay.
Well,
You haven't said Under Eye Inbirth.
it would have to because Ultimate is on the list. So I mean, it's still like recent game.
Oh, Smash Ultimate. They haven't said Under Eye Inbirth.
They haven't.
I could see Under Eye Inbirth doing it. It's been picking up a lot. Not just because I like it.
I know, but this is best fighting games of all time.
Okay.
You're gonna give that to Other Night Inbirth?
Over Super Turbo?
Over Super
I wouldn't put
Turbo?
anything over Super Turbo.
Well,
Anything.
They put 2 games over Super
They're gonna put Third Strike in there. I know that. They're wrong.
What do you think the other game's gonna be? Because I will tell you that yes,
I already said Grow Mark of Wolves and Sam Show 2.
Third Strike is one of the 2
They
games.
named that already.
Yeah, are they gonna put King of Fighters 98 maybe?
90, yeah, possibly.
Alright, you ready? Game Informers.
Okay. Oh, Smash Melee, because they said Smash Ultimate. Smash Melee's gonna be in it.
Second,
Oh god.
Second greatest fighting game of all time. Super Smash Brothers Melee.
And the greatest game of
Third Strike.
all time, Third Strike.
Third
Third
Strike.
Strike
Oh my
is,
God.
according to Game Informer, I want to stress that. Game Informer, whose primary purpose is to sell video games in GameStop, as Street Fighter 2 Third Strike, greatest fighting game of all time.
Unbiased list.
So yeah, like CVS 2 11. Mortal Kombat 2. I mean, it depends on how you're weighing this list. Like, okay,
If you want to say like Mortal Kombat 2 or Mortal Kombat 3, and then you have an argument between the two, sure. But I wouldn't put it in. I wouldn't put it in the top 20.
I would like so it's like if you're just basing it strictly on gameplay, that's one list. If you're also kind of weighting it with how influential and how much of a milestone and that kind of benchmark, that's a different one.
Yeah.
That's a different order. I would say that CBS 2 is in the top 10, no matter how you slice it.
I would agree with that.
Like top 5, some lists, I don't know. I mean, if I'm thinking about this objectively, it's like Super Turbo, Third Strike, probably plus R. Let's go plus. But I mean, no, CS is solid. So Game Informer, I hope you continue to lose subscriptions until you go all digital. Circus list.
Clown list.
What about the top 10 traveling circus? Obviously, Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, greatest show on earth.
Greatest colleges. The Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, greatest show on earth, Clown College.
No longer circus. Maybe read the Circus Vargas. I see. They have
Cirque
like
du Soleil.
Oh yeah.
They have like the horse cirque thing. White horses.
This is gonna be a match to remember.
But I was actually thinking about this like a weeks ago. Like, you know what? I'd like to go to this circus. It's a cool thing to go see. Big top. Play all the games. All the Chinese stuff.
Yeah.
The circus has got the midway. My midway was called midway. Where did I just record?
Live and let die.
Number one's gonna be Sengo Fighters Chaos.
Kabuki Clash.
I got the Smash Brothers. Down there. I just wanted to... Joker, join us the battle.
How much is he?
Well, you get it for $6 for a single.
Oh, you can buy the pass, huh? Alright, do you want to hop in, or,
I can get it.
yeah?
We'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd have a hard because I'd want to combine it where yeah, like the gameplay and also the influence matters both, because you can have like a game that invented something incredible that everything uses now, but it just didn't completely optimize it, you know, and that should be counted really. So that's how I see that. So I would say a combination of both. And I wouldn't put like 3D models as all that important, but more like how you utilize 3D space. Like Virtua Fighter 1 was revolutionary, but not really revolutionary for gameplay. It was like revolutionary for video games in general. Like Virtua Fighter 2 is far more important to me than Virtua Fighter 1 would be.
Right, so obviously any, like, you know, personally I hate having to, like, come up, like, if people, like, especially, like, when I was working on the website, I was like, you know, if people ask me, like, hey, what's your top X games of all time? Like, how do you rank X game? I'm like, I really like putting one, like, precisely like that. I can think, well, this group of games I like better than these. But if you ask me to do 1, 2, 3, 4, it's like, well, I don't do that. Obviously, besides, I have touchdown, but that's not really even my best pick.
Tetris 99 is your favorite Tetris game.
Yeah, mine.
Nice.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
Good, very good at the game.
Live and let die. Fight!
Baby. There's some games on the list where I'd say like, you know, I'd put a tie because it's like different versions of the same game. So like, you know, it'd be a tie between Virtua Fighter 4 and Virtua Fighter 5. And the, you know, the best version of Virtua Fighter 4, which is called Final Edition, or Final Tune. Sorry, Final Edition is King Fighters 98. And, yeah, okay. I'm surprised there's no Street Fighter 5 on that list. Greatest fighting game of all time. Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition. I think we can all agree to that.
Go for broke. Fight!
Aww. Again, interesting that they chose Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition version 2012 over Ultra Street Fighter 4. It shows that they actually know kind of what they're talking about. I mean, the consensus among like higher-end fighting game players is that Third Strike is one of the best fighting games of the time. Yeah. So I'm not gonna fault them for saying that.
But I don't think it's number one.
I wouldn't say it's number one.
I would put it in terms of popularity.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
In my opinion, Super Turbo is number 1.
I agree.
In my opinion, Super Turbo is the greatest fighting game of all time. Not just for influence, but also for gameplay. Just because it's just the fundamental that it is. Yeah, it's pure. Yeah. It has its flaws, sure. There's no fighting game that's perfect. I would probably put number 2 as a tie between Virtua Fighter 4 and Virtua Fighter 5, and then number 3 would be Guilty Gear Plus R. I honestly might put Third Strike as number 4. It's very imbalanced, but it has a really interesting mechanic.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, the kind of equivalent I would say of Third Strike would be Garou, Mark of the Wolves, and I would say Third Strike's better than Garou. I put number 4 in. I wasn't too upset with them saying Third Strike. I was upset with them putting Melee at number 2. No, the 2 different versions of the one game counts as one slot. So that would put Third Strike as number 4. Super Turbo, Virtua Fighter 4 or 5, Guilty Gear Plus R, and then Third Strike. I'm not criticizing them for putting Third Strike as first. I mean, I do not think it deserves first, like by a wide margin. I think Super Turbo is a better, not just a better game, but more influence. If you're talking about greatest games of all time, I would put Super Turbo and Virtua Fighter above Third Strike. If they don't mention Guilty Gear, I totally get it.
kind of sad Halo 2 has fighting
Yes. I think Super Turbo has the most influence of any fighting game. I mean, Street Fighter 2 in general. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, what... If I were to make a new fighting game, what would influence me more? Super Turbo or Third Strike? Super Turbo. By a mile. That? No, if that was the case, Street Fighter 5 would win. Or Ultra Street, or Smash Bros. Ultimate.
This is of all time.
Yeah, it is a list of all time. I think if you compare all fighting games at this moment, Super Turbo has the most influence and still really, really solid gameplay, if not some of the best gameplay.
And for how old it is, it still has a lot of tournament.
It does. I don't think that matters though when it comes to the best fighting games of all time. The current scene, strength of the scene, I wouldn't count.
Well, no, I would, because if a game is really good, people would play it for a very long time. I mean, a lot of people are still playing Scene because it's a really fun, good game. Nobody is playing Primal Rage.
Alright, let me hop out of here.
And not
Real fighting games, like Windjammers. Like Twinkle Star Strikes.
But now I kind of have to think about it. There's like my personal list and then what I think overall.
Yeah, what actually is
Oh, thank you.
your personal?
You haven't thought about this? All over, taking hours to study this list?
Well, I would put top 5. I would put Super Turbo, even though I don't like that game. But I think it's fundamental for all Street Fighters. But I would also put Mortal Kombat in there just because it was like the first American fighting game that revolutionized.
Which Mortal Kombat?
Video.
Two or three, because
It would
one's
be-
kind
I
of.
would go for 2.
Okay.
Uh,
That'd be another case where I'd say it's a tie between 2 or Ultimate 3.
Let's see, is it best or is it this game has had a best?
I know, but that's the thing. That's
But
kind of
that's-
like the subjectivity.
I don't think
involved
that's what the
with
list is about. I don't think the list is this game has had influence and affects, you know, history. It's like you know, it's like a list of the list was the best games, not you know historical games.
but that's where this is where we are right now because of those games.
Like let's say for example, you had a list of the best Super Mario games of all time. Do you think Super Mario Bros. 1 would not make 5? Or even in the top 3? It's not better than Mario World or Mario
Yeah,
Bros.
but
3.
I'm not just talking technical,
right?
because
But
obviously
it should,
the newest
it
game
should
is.
be in the top 3.
I don't actually don't.
Okay.
Yes, it did. It did greatly affect. I don't. I think Super Mario Bros. Top 3.
かかってきたぜ
Live and let die.
But much? No, not as much. You know,
My point is, I do think Super Turbo is very, very well made. As far as just looking at
no,
mechanics.
it's really ill-balanced.
Tournaments have been won with every character.
Yes, tournament of what? Like the
Not
tournament.
old, not old
It's
characters.
not ill-balanced.
It does have some issues with like standard deviation. So for example, you have some characters where they have really bad matchups with other characters. And of course, it's worth banning it. But if you look at Third Strike and Pro Market Wolves, those are way more unbalanced. And those are still really good games.
Yeah.
Samurai Showdown 2 is a really good game, but that's very unbalanced.
I mean, just speaking of Super Turbo, like
But
most.
it's also because it's not just unbalanced, but it's unbalanced to the point that, like, 2015, I think
I wouldn't say it's unbalanced.
No.
Because
Like,
of that.
I mean, if both players have the opportunity to do that, why is that not fair?
Yeah.
because it's just like, I mean, it's just kind of like a very fucked up system.
I mean,
It might be a system you don't like. I can see that.
I mean, if one character could do that and the other character couldn't, you'd have a valid point. But if both characters could potentially do it, how is that not fair? If it's the same for both,
It seems like not all the characters can.
but that doesn't mean they can't win.
I do think pretty much every character can win.
I mean, you just get the right stun combo. And
Some of them are better at it than others. Like Boxer is fucking horrible to fight against. But Boxer's not the best character in the game, and Boxer has some very obvious problems. Yeah, you want some?
Peter,
Live and let die. Fight.
Okay. Maybe I might have my I didn't get a cutscene.
I still have my milk in the fridge. I gotta bring that back tonight.
I mean,
But like, people always say Cammy's like one of the weakest in Super Turbo, but Silent Scope has freaking won tournaments with
Yeah.
her.
I still feel it's kind of like saying that the majority of firefighters, you know,
Go for broke.
aren't female firefighters. I can I just disagree with that. I mean, aside from being, like, I'll admit, I just when it came out, I recognized it was somewhere, so many other games that come out since it, that are just, like, so much better. That now, I think people just play it for nostalgia. And like, so making a list of games that are best and it should still be
But that gives a significant weight to bad newer games versus
Right.
old
Very well
good
played.
games.
I think
a new game that's bad doesn't necessarily relevant.
Well, then why is a old game that was good not relevant?
Because I'm saying it's not.
No, I'm saying it is good. You're saying older games shouldn't
I'm saying people
count.
are playing it because of nostalgia.
No, but I'm just saying that in the grand scheme of things, if a game gets, millions and millions and millions of people playing it, more so than any other game of its era, how is that not a good game in the
We're saying
time?
it is the most.
A popular game, not the most. I mean,
if we're talking about most popular fighting games of all time based off of the number of people who played it, I would definitely say Street Fighter 2 is.
oh yeah.
Like,
But currently, okay, Street Fighter 5 is the greatest though, or Smash Ultimate.
no, I'm not saying that popularity. You say the popularity.
Is a factor, not the factor.
I'm not arguing.
I'm arguing purely on mechanics.
Yeah, which I'm saying.
I would still say Super Turbo is the greatest
Get
fighting.
outdated because much better mechanics. Like Street Fighter.
I think Street Fighter 3 is a better fighting game. Turbo? Street Fighter 3 is a far worse balance.
And he's not afraid of
There's,
much.
there's two, maybe three characters you can play as.
Well, let's think about that though. Like, look at Cooperation Cup.
Yeah.
How many, especially pre-co-op cup, you have the number of team, like the number of character-only teams. Obviously, Sean's a piece of crap, and
Yeah.
even last like some years you get like one or two, but so you can make an argument that I mean, if you see like like the top tier characters, this is like the vast majority of picks. In the mid tiers, it's like small percentage, and the low tiers like very very few people. Right, and the same thing can be said about Super Turbo, which you're kind of arguing against.
I'm not arguing the super like the situation. I'm saying it's a broken game.
Well, what are you saying it's broken for other reasons than character
Yes.
balance?
Yes.
The fact that you can basically kill somebody in a few hits. Kind
Yes.
of talked about.
Yes.
And you can do that in Marvel or Dragon Ball Fighters, for instance.
Yes. Exactly. Thank you.
So why then isn't it just, well, then just don't get hit, and that's a part of the game?
So you think it's a bad game because it's unforgiving?
Actually, yeah. It's like if you hit it once,
Does Juno? He's saying that Super Turbo is kind of jank, but it did pave the way for other fighters. Has a decent level of fundamentals. For new players, it kind of sucks. You can throw them to death if you can't do perfect reversals. I like that. I like the throws in Super Turbo.
Go for broke.
I mean, Third Strike has really fast throws too. What is it, like a 3 frame tech or frame tech in Third Strike? Yeah, Tekken's really hard.
No.
at least
Didn't get it perfect, but I'm getting that. I'm getting that pretty good tonight. But I mean, if we can just say kind of like back up and just talk about
Old hawk or boxer.
What makes Super Turbo so no, what makes it so
today, in my opinion, I think it's because that it's extremely cutthroat.
Yes.
You're on a knife's edge. Both players are on a knife's edge. The same equal knife's edge.
It's also got a good level of difficulty going for it, despite its simplicity. A lot of the characters vary far more than you might even see the same exact characters
I
up
picked
in
it by
Street Fighter
mistake.
4.
No, you didn't.
So for example, like fighting Dalsim or Kenny or She-Hawk or Fei Long, those characters are very different. In Street Fighter 4, they are far less pronounced than they would be. For example, I would say in Third Strike in particular, mechanics of Third Strike overpower the characters so much that it can kind of take away some of its. In Super Turbo, you don't have that.
And another thing too is that
You like Alpha 3 more than Alpha 2? Or you're not sure?
and a lot of people swear by Alpha 2 or Alpha 3. I guess
Yeah.
that's personal.
Yeah. I feel like Street Fighter 4 is the next successor to Alpha 3. Alpha 3, like, the point of it was to have as many Street Fighter characters in it as possible. You have different modes and all this kind of stuff. It's, it feels like it's Street Fighter Fighting Jam, you know? And Street Fighter 4 feels that way too. Street Fighter 4, you know, there's very few new moves that the characters have from previous games. They copied combos from other games as well. Like, what's some combo we can use from for Claw? We don't have anything. Oh, let's copy CVS2. Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't put the alpha games in the top 10.
But I mean, but to the older games' credit, especially over the most modern games, you know, you do have, especially in Street Fighter 4, you do have a bit of a crutch in that the game kind of rewards you in a way for not being very good, and you have a way out.
Yeah.
So like the ultra
Comeback
meter
mechanics.
or the B or the the B triggers, that kind of thing. Like you don't get that in Super Turbo. You kind of don't get that in this game. I mean, it's kind of in the groove.
A lot of people argued when Super Turbo came out that that's what Super Meter was. But Super Meter is very different than what the
Super
Ultra
meter rewards offensive.
Yes, it does. Ultra Meter does not reward anything offensive. It rewards getting hit, and it rewards absorbing a hit with your
Right.
focus.
Right. So you could technically gain ultra without ever taking damage.
Could, yeah.
Same thing with like K-Groove and Justice Ren.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately meant to be like a you're behind. Here's a big giant super.
Yeah,
always threaten the other guy.
I'm against rewarding people for losing. You're doing bad here to make you become better. I don't like those kinds of things.
Right. Right. So basically, I mean that's definitely a strike against the modern games for the most part.
Yes.
That you
all
can
the
be
modern
doing
games do that.
everything right, and just because they got to a certain lower level of health, they can take away your life leading you lose instantly.
Yeah,
Yes.
just choose.
That was a huge problem with Tekken 6. It's been a little bit mitigated with Tekken 7, not enough in my opinion. But in Tekken 6, when your health gets low enough, you get Rage meter. You get Rage available. Tekken 7 does the same thing. But your Rage would be so powerful that you could kill somebody with like a 100% combo when you get Rage. And so what you would do is, if you knew you would attack them and deal enough damage to put them in range, but not be able to kill them with your current combo, you drop the combo instead of going out and dealing more damage. Because then when you go get another successful hit, then you can kill them straight out of range. You don't have to worry about it. Saw that a lot with like desperation attacks though in Fatal Fury. You can just spam supers when your health is low enough.
That's good, baby.
It's about to explode. Fight!
Remember them? On the ground.
Yeah, my opinion, Super Turbo's number 1. Virtua Fighter 4 or 5 would be number 2. Guilty Gear Plus R would be number 3. I would put Third Strike as number 4 and CBS 2 as number 5. Melty Blood is fun, but I don't think it's a great game. I do think it's really fun though.
I would put Street Fighter 4 above Third Strike.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just think because of what it generated, fighting games in arcade scene is dead. So Street Fighter 4 better than
Fun game.
like, you know, like, obviously I'm biased, and if I was talking like my personal favorite games of all time, I put CBS 2 there, obviously.
Yeah.
But if I kind of had to think logically, I'm like, okay, technically, Tetris Challenge, not a fighting game.
You would do a Bell Coliseum. Because you play Tetris in that game.
Like, oh, come on, do something there. Be careful, you got super.
I would put Sam Show 2 above Samurai Shodown 5 Special. Controversial as that might be. I do think Vampire Savior should be in the top 10.
I would put CBS 2 top 5.
Top 5? Yeah. I don't know if any King of Fighters deserves the top 10 slot, to be honest.
I mean, look, the highest ranked King of Fighters in any list doesn't have to be top 10, but the first King of Fighters game you put down. It would be 98 or 2002.
For me, I'd put 2002.
I would
But then there's the question of 13 also. I mean, 13 has it's good.
I mean, cause like, so I'm trying to think. Okay, like if I just took my personal biases out of it, and of course it's also like, growing up in the era that we did. Of course, we're gonna have different biases too.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only think that it's gonna be a Capcom game of some kind. And it's basically, yeah, it's basically between Third Strike and Super Turbo for me.
Yeah. I mean, Street Fighter the movie is up there too. I mean, yeah, Juno says 98. But I mean, honestly, 98, 2K2UM, and 13, they've all got some very serious problems with all three of them. You've got, I mean, 2K2 has Nameless. or K49.
And again,
That's a serious problem.
one more time.
13, like you said, has the $5.
Oh, I blocked that.
Yeah, but you were also.
And see, yeah, died from chip damage.
Alright, man, Chip, you're dead.
Can you do your spin when you have no health left?
Which is it's handy because like if you have 0 health and then you get a JD, you can get the.
But yeah, you're right, Juno. King of Fighters 11 is the best King of Fighters game.
Oh, cross under.
Unless you want to count 2003.
King of Fighters Neo Wave,
Yeah, Neo Wave. There we go.
Battle Coliseum,
Neo Wave had Young Geese in it. Young Geese is awesome.
Maximum Impact.
Mira. Impact Regulation A.
Ah! Not too bad.
2K2 has 4 different Kios. So you can choose Kyo not just 3 times, but like you can swap it with some variety of which 3 Kios you can.
Kusanagi EX.
Yep. Kyo 1 and Kyo 2.
Best group, baby.
Yeah, I would put 2K2 the best King of Fighters. '13 needed just a little bit more of a tweak, and it would have been better. 14 just feels really bland. Like it's got nothing special or anything going for it at all.
It's more of
Yeah. Like 13 had, you know, like its own unique canceling system. 11 had its own cool canceling system, and it has like a weird tag mechanic and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe if the DLC characters didn't exist in 13, it'd be the best one. I could see that. Juno, you think Breaker's Revenge is the best one?
What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001. This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
The thing with Breakers is a very solid game. Like, that's all it is. Breakers Revenge. It's a nice, solid, traditional fighting game. And honestly, you don't see enough fighting games doing that too well. Right? The games that try oftentimes fail pretty damn hard. You got your Double Dragon and Karnov's. I know you probably think Karnov's is better than Breaker. No. Hellman's mayonnaise. It says Hellman's mayonnaisal spray. Oh, Juno says Nostalgic and Dying.
I was gonna jump, but I delayed my jump. Who did that? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they would be here by now. I just saw your message in Discord. It was like an hour and a half ago. So, I mean, they're not coming this way.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
do that on the home version. You can't do that in the arcade version.
As far as Mortal Kombat's concerned, I don't know what to think about those games mechanically. Seems like they're just not good, solid games at all, either 2 or Ultra 3. It took a very long time for them to make a solid fighter that was beyond just like, hey, this is a cool thing. You know? Like, there's a lot of cool stuff in Mortal Kombat, but as far as mechanics go, it's got a lot of weird things. I'd say it took them probably until Mortal Kombat 9 to really start getting that out of their system.
I don't know about that, actually. I'll disagree with you on that.
Okay.
So, by the time they got to 3, they started, like, figuring stuff out.
Uh-huh.
Come on. Alright, okay. Yeah, I mean, by the time they got to 3, because, like, 3, and then, you know, 3, the trilogy, or whatever you want to call it, basically the Mortal Kombat 3 platform, that was obviously the end of, like, you know, 2D games, that era of hardware.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of like it was the end of the beginning, as it were. Now, obviously, Mortal Kombat 4 is kind of...
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 4 is pretty ass.
Yeah, it's like...
Well, a lot of those games were, you know, I mean, look at Tekken 4.
But I would say that by 3, they kind of got the whole presence of Mortal Kombat kind of down.
Yeah.
Like, by 3, they really had their identity.
3 has great presentation.
Yeah.
I will definitely give it that. But again, I'm just talking mechanically. It had a run button, which I actually really like that concept.
Right.
Where you hold the run button and you have stamina that you use for the run button. The block button, when used right, can do things correctly. It avoids having to deal with cross-ups, which I don't really care that much about. But I don't know. I mean, holding block to stop it felt weird. The way a lot of the button acts felt weird, like sweeps and mashing high punch and like uppercuts and weird things like that. Uppercuts weren't too bad.
But what happened, I think...
The presentation was great.
Right, so Mortal Kombat 4, don't talk about Mortal Kombat. You all get mulligans. But the 5, 6, 7, that'd be, what are they? Deadly Alliance, what's the middle one? Armageddon, Annihilation.
Deadly Alliance had the weapons system, right?
Yeah, that's when they kind of started, like, the dial combos.
Yeah.
And they started integrating weapons into everything. I played all those console games to death. I mean, I really got into Mortal Kombat. Those games were so good. They were so fun. That's the thing. And then they were kind of messing with, like, you know, stage hazards and
Yeah.
like ring outs kind of thing. But I mean, they definitely had a good platform to build off of for 7, 8, and 9. And we don't talk about 8.
Yeah, we don't talk about it.
Second mulligan,
That's one
it's
you
fine.
Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Annihilation was not good, but you could play as like 70 characters in it. So.
Everyone is here, man.
Those are always fun when they do those. It's like, you know, Samurai Showdown 6 sucked, but well, you can play as every character, that's cool.
You can even play as, like, that one Game Boy Advance character that no one ever heard of.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about those games. Is they recognized, okay, look, we're just gonna pack so much shit into this game that, you know, even if it's like most people find it like halfway good, there'll just be so much content here that, you know, Can't not appreciate it.
Juno says if he had to vote on the worst fighting games, he would choose Karnov,
Wars
Mortal
Masters
Kombat
Draft
vs. DC, King of Fighters 2003, and The Killing Blade. I don't think I played too much The Killing Blade. Ringing a bell a little bit. I mean, you've got, you know, like Kabuki Ninja, which is... I'm not even sure if that would count. So that game's so bad. You got like Rise of the Robots.
Where would he rank Star Wars Masters of Terrascasi?
Star Wars Masters of Terrascasi.
Next location is
Spider?
Yeah.
Killing Blade?
Yeah, I know you've told me the answer to this like a million times, but I forgot which fighting game it was. This Chinese fighting game where
Dong Dong Never Die?
no, not Dong Dong Never Die, but where there were infinites in the game, and it's like, okay, you know, they should try and fix the infinites, but like in most fighting games, like as you deal more damage and your combo gets longer,
Oh, that's right.
it starts prorating, so you deal less and less damage. Well, they didn't have a cap on the proration, so eventually the proration gets to 0, and then the proration starts getting negative. So you start healing your opponent. The chaos generation. There we go. So you keep doing the infinite, and you're healing your opponent because you're doing the infinite. That's something else, man. I saw that video of that guy. He hit him. He's doing the infinite, and then he eventually times out, and the opponent wins with a perfect and full meter because he just healed it full.
this is gonna be a match to remember.
Chaos generation. I'll have to check that one out. If we make a Kusogivo.
Oh!
Friday Foolish.
Yeah, I have that on my PC. I haven't played it much.
Play Fighters, you don't like that one?
Play Fighters is good. I mean, it was
Which
good.
one's better? 63 and a third or Sculptor's Cut? I should try P-Groove a little bit.
Or you can play Third Strike.
Play Third Strike a bit.
Or you can play as Ryu in Street Fighter 5.
There we go, sure. Hey, if there were no other fighting games that existed, I would play Street Fighter 5. Like if I was out in the middle of nowhere and there was a fighting game group and all they played was Street Fighter 5, I'd play it.
I would.
I mean, I would play it.
I just want to play a fighting game. That's all.
Like I could probably learn Zeku.
I'm just lucky as fuck that I have a group that plays Guilty Gear Plus R. You know.
I'm lucky. Like you played CVS 2, man. That's like holy shit.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for CVS 2.
It's alright.
It's okay.
Oh come on, man.
If I had to like pick some new fighting games for my like top 10 fighting game list, to like just double check and like review a little bit, I'd want to take a second look at new Killer Instinct games.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot good going for it.
Go for broke.
Yeah. That one's probably one of the best fighting games of the last 5 years. New Killer Instinct. This is coming from somebody who thinks that Killer Instinct 1 is hot garbage, and it was my main fighting game back in the day. When it came out, I played the hell out of that game. But I still think the original Killer Instinct ass at this point, now that I know more about fighting games. That was back when I played Dragon Ball GT Final Battle. I thought that game was awesome.
Yeah, I should say I should. No. I'm kind of talking to myself when I'm saying that. I'm not talking to you. I'm like, yeah. Let me just stop doing stupid shit and let me actually win what I mean. Well,
I didn't even see
Parry
that
and just defend.
online.
Yeah, there's that one guy in the Discord that just insists on wanting to play like
I picked 3 Vegas.
Whoops, I don't know how
I
that
tried. No, I
happened.
tried to go back. I pressed B.
no
and-
back.
Oh yeah, there's no back.
Ratio
Like
2 + 1 + 1.
like those
Monkey
classics like Super Turbo tournaments in Japan. Like, oh, I chose the wrong character on accident. Too bad.
talent. Fucking bad.
Too bad.
Team roll with it.
We know why you chose the wrong character. Because you're trying to pick Akuma and you must have code. Now you have to play your other character. Screw you.
I just like how they do it, handle it in Japan. Like, it's not technically banned, but it's like so frowned upon that nobody dares do it.
It was like, yeah, it was like, you know, oh, do you want to do just like throw spam? Sure, you could do it. The problem is, can your body handle the beating that you're gonna get afterwards in the arcade?
Yeah, man, if I do stupid shit. Against a strong opponent.
So Juno, you excited for Karnav's Revenge at EVO? Finally, a good fighting game at EVO.
Too pokey there. I'm Gumby. You're Pokey. Oh, old person right.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
God, you must be really old. Like, what are you, 25 or something? No, you're not looking forward to Fighters History Dynamite? They said they weren't going to do a Breaker's Revenge tournament.
Build that beer the old-fashioned way by whipping mediums and heavies.
Is about to explode. Fight! Now they came out with a
What?
Oh, I was hoping for Chip!
Yeah.
Thought I had Chip there on you. Chip's a nice guy.
Chip Douglas from the Cable Guy. Yeah, apparently they're gonna have a lot of good Japanese players at EVO, specifically coming just for Goro Marvel the Wolves. That'll be pretty interesting.
Gotta pop there. kind of doing the thing I'm doing when I'm just like when I'm playing Tetris while I'm streaming. Kind of just like playing the game, not really focusing and concentrating on the game.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that.
Focus on Tetris 99. Help get your win rate up more.
Yes, I'll focus on Tetris 99 while I'm like Bell or 3.
Yes. So get your win rate up on Tetris 99 more.
Yeah, it's actually like 38%. I kind of dropped down a little bit.
Starting to suck. 38% of your games are win.
You know, like people are coming on my stream like, "You're a monster." I'm like, okay, I mean, I am, but I don't really care. Sorry.
Well, what I hear is a lot of the novelty of the game has worn off. So the people who just go on and play casually.
Yeah, I mean, there are
go on
definitely
and
fewer
playing.
easy kills. I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah, so you're getting more and more strong players just sticking with it.
And plus, when I play later at night, and you have all the Japanese players on.
So, Jabali posted Twitter. If any of you on my Twitter feed spoil Marble in-game before I get to see it, you're banned from CEO permanently, and we'll refund your money.
Hey,
You
can
never
do
go to
it.
CEO ever again.
You can do it.
He pulled off something crazy for this new CEO. He got he talked to airlines and got airline ticket discounts. And we're going to CEO. Yeah, I've never heard of that going on.
Hey, he takes care of people.
Like they got, they have hotel discounts at like the event at the locations they're running them at sometimes. But I've never heard of a flight discount. Because he talked to them and they're like, "Oh, we're willing to do a group discount as long as there's more than 30 people." It's like there'll be more than 30.
Saving the FGC some bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't be too far in front of that.
Well, I got the hotel room for you though. I reserved it back on Black Friday.
For a little bit of mouth. I was trying to account a little there. Yeah.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
Contrary to speculation, there's no plans for a JoJo's tournament. I don't know about Power Rangers Battle for the Grid though.
Probably that. Somebody's gotta be running something for that. I mean, it could be a community.
Could be. Could be. There's a lot of stuff that other people outside of anime were doing.
God damn it. I crossed myself up. I did like that short like. I was thinking super. My hand just didn't spit it out.
You want to play, Nathan?
Yeah. Let me get in soon.
For now.
Right now sounds good.
The bacon jerky for beating me is still valid, Nathan.
Okay. Being you once already. And you physically do. Punch it.
Oh. K group too.
Probably should switch it.
K group, yeah.
I just really like Just Defend.
You can't just defend an A group.
I know. You can only just defend in K group.
Well,
That's why I
you
play
can,
K
you
group.
can EX1 groove.
Sure.
Top tier groove. Definitely banned. I'm kind of phased out of Kiosk gaming. I'm honest. Better eat all this bacon jerky before you beat me on.
You ever gonna have a Guilty Gear The Missing Link tournament? Guilty Gear 1? You have a tournament for that? Be crazy. The game is full of infinites. So the trick with Guilty Gear 1 is you have 5 buttons, right? So you have punch, kick, slash, heavy slash, and respect. Which is just, you know, your taunt.
Because a dust button is not quite
Yeah,
well,
well,
it's like both slashes with dust button, right?
yeah, well, both slashes with dust, but I still don't even think Guilty Gear 1 had dust. I think they added that in Guilty Gear X.
Oh dear. You get for doing that infinite combo on negative health game.
Live and let die. Fight!
Knock is really fun. I think you know they definitely like you know Knock in CVS1 was just like super top tier broken, but you know they obviously lowered her a little bit, but I think they lowered her in a kind of a fair way. It's not like she was totally she wasn't like Sean from Second Impact or Third Strike kind of thing, If she got she's a well balanced character in this game, I think all things considered. Getting that jab frame trap. Oh, you were thinking super.
No, I was going for Scarlet, whatever that's called, Scarlet Terror.
Scarlet hair. Cannot just defend throws. Pro tip for everybody out there.
That crossed me up. I was expecting it to cross me up.
The ambiguous process.
Yeah, so the most important button is the respect button. Because in Guilty Gear, you can cancel a move for a button into respect.
Right, you can still do that.
And then you can still do that, but also in Guilty Gear 1, you can do the opposite. You can cancel respect into another button.
Can you still do that?
No. So you can cancel any move in Guilty Gear Plus R. You can cancel any move into taunt. Taunt is not cancelable. You cannot cancel anything into respect. You cannot Roman cancel taunt. Because Roman cancel has to be on a hit, whether it's on block or on. Yeah, it can't be on whip.
Can you yellow Roman cancel it?
But so respect, you cannot cancel into respect, but you can cancel anything out of respect. They're just two different states of taunt.
Or just throw something. Even if you can't be.
No? I won't get it unless I do it.
Okay. 2 hours later.
I wish you'd be playing Hibiki though instead of this team. I want to beat your Hibiki.
Tell you what'll do.
こじゃんとくる
I won't tell you. I'll just do it.
Okay.
Let's go. Sex. Liddy
This is
gear.
gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
Oh, hello, button. Press the button.
I was thinking of meeting you with the projectile on your wake up, but then I remembered the last 2 times I did that when you were Super Leader. I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna do that this time.
It's about
I
to
figured
explode.
you'd learn your lesson by that time.
Good. I thought I'd stay in place. I could keep just defending it, but I bounced up. And you bounced up. I was like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. I'm falling back into it again.
Just defend again.
So,
This is gonna
Slide
be
at
a
me.
match to remember. Fight!
Slide. Slide, damn you. Not sliding at me. You're rude. Oh, of course.
his face is not very well drawn. With those 6 pixels it represents.
His eyes. He's chill, right? Try to throw her.
I tried to throw.
That should make me throw this. tell you what I'm gonna do. Kick. Regular. Which is weird for me, actually, every time I do it.
I don't remember Claw's other super. I know his max super, I know that super. What was the other one?
It's Guile's, basically, the flash kick super.
Yeah, I guess it's just with kicks instead of punches.
Yeah.
Because that one right there was with
So
with
charge
kicks.
back down, then...
Yeah,
forward, back,
that's what I
up.
did for that super right there. I guess it's with punches instead of kicks. And then his max is charge, back forward, back forward.
こじゃんとくるっ
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
ライオンキャ
There.
This battle is about to explode. Fight!
Down that guard right
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001. But the road to victory is not an easy one. The champion team will need... This battle
you.
is about to explode. Fight!
Was it custom font, right?
That's colors.
Those were custom. Just offended.
Live and let die.
Cool there.
Try to get out of it.
You've gotten out of it by blocking.
No, I would have died if I blocked.
Oh. You got out of it by just defending.
That would have worked.
Just blocking.
This battle is about to explode. Fight!
They're on colored hockey. Not gonna lose that.
Hibiki color.
Go for broke.
Color of the all American. Not technically red, white, blue. Maybe.
I believe in that.
The Millionaire Fighting 2001.
What is these? Who's in that stage?
Incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the
And is giving its elderly population discount.
victory. Is not an
Ramen. Give us the colors. Read the actual article.
in order to defeat the competition.
He said let him read the article real quick before he says the whole.
Jap-
All right, the show is
Japan is giving its elderly population discounts on ramen if they give up their driver's license.
Alright, thanks for stopping by, man.
Thank you. Let me know when you have the next session.
For sure.
Next month.
Yeah, next month, hypothetically. Do you need help getting out or you know your way out? Alright, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Anyway, Texas.
victory is not an easy one. The champion team will need more than
See you next time.
win this tournament. They will have to
Right.
demonstrate a keen mind and steady nerves in order to defeat
I got the link from Reddit. I didn't actually
can't wait to
do
see
study
what
Reddit. No, of course not. I mean, oh no, they link the news sites on Reddit. No, of course I do. I mean, I subscribe to New York Times or LA Times. It is one of the several places I get news.
battle is about to explode. Fight!
Oh.
On the ground. Damn rage. I'll put it that way.
行くぞ
Live and let die. Fight!
They're gonna go for a throw.
DP it.
And I can't tech your 360 or 720.
Oh, I see.
Actually trying to beat the throw.
Oh, I was gonna be this there. Got up a little fast.
This battle is about to explode. Fight!
I would have to put Third Strike in this.
You think so?
I would put Third Strike first on my list if I was thinking logically.
Smash. Would you put Smash Melee at number 2?
Smash.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
Maybe top 10 of 7. Oh, you're lucky. Parrying opens up so very one in reception right there. So there's always a way out of that.
I think the mechanics overpower the character diversity a bit too much. I do like the mechanic. It does completely change the game. Like the way you fight is about messing up cadence, and I really like that concept. I just think mechanics are too overpowering. Like they don't give enough to each of the characters to make them more than just the mechanics. Obviously, there is stuff like you've got Ganesh and all that kind of stuff, but it's just carries such an important answer.
Yeah. But it is.
Yeah.
And that's 100% skill.
This is gonna be a match to
That
remember.
is.
Parry. I mean, you might get lucky, but they've actually kind of designed the. So if you hold the direction, you don't really get the parry. I guess you can do that here. But I make that argument based on kind of like tournaments,
This battle is about
and I will handily admit like mostly ignorance over like the subtleties of Super Turbo. But I mean, in Third Strike, it's kind of like obvious. Like it's a lot more obvious to like the tension and the drama from an outside viewer. Like every year when I'm watching Cooperation Cup, I'm like, wow. And especially like how cutthroat it is in any one game.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've seen Super Turbo like super excited comebacks in Super Turbo, but it's kind of the same way in Third Strike. You have very little help as far as making a comeback other than your own, you know, skill and like turning it around yourself kind of thing.
Right, I like that.
And, you know, you never get something like a clutch. You know, what's a clutch thing you can do other than a clutch? Like compare a clutch parry, Third Strike. You know what I mean? Like that's a similar kind of game changing moment. I guess it's like a character for specifically that clutch deep.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do, what I can definitely speak of that I don't like Super Turbo is that how some characters can completely lock down other characters with projectiles. Like, you know, like some Sagat matchups, like, well, too bad. You're screwed. Like Sagat Cammy, like once Cammy's over, Sagat got their space over. Like, kind of things like, you know, save that shit for Marvel 2. We're close to the bacon. Right. Get the Viki and you get a piece. Off the bag. Okay, dude. Maki.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
Ratio 1.
This is gonna be a match to remember.
Oh, serious? Yeah, whatever. What about me?
Don't bother me. I mean, I'm used to living in a house where there's like always noise coming from. That's, you know, that's above you.
To explode. Fight!
You ever get the windows where her,
Oh yeah, it opens up.
she's all embarrassed about it. Boa!
Okay.
You want to take yours and I'm back next.
What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001.
Honda!
Yep, Honda.
E-Honda.
Edmund Honda.
This
About
battle
Charlie
is
Blanca.
about to explode. Fight!
That's not what I wanted to do at all! Oh, sha!
This battle is about to explode. Fight! They came with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round.
Edmund Honda. Oh, wrestler.
A sumo wrestler.
This
He's
is gonna be a
sumo
match to
fighter.
remember. Fight!
He was banned from sumo wrestling because he's too good.
They came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round.
Hey, you got yourself some bacon turkey here.
Okay. All I gotta do is take out Hibiki.
I'm gonna give it to you.
This battle is
I was
about to
gonna give it to you.
explode. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round.
My secret weapon.
Go for broke.
After my not so super open.
Nice. That's close.
I think you deserve a piece
Thank you.
of Jack Link's
That deserves it more.
7 Select Big Cuts Bacon
Seven
Turkey.
select. I will take this. Oh, you want it?
Alright, so Nathan gets one, Mandy gets one, I'll take the rest. We're kind of bottom of the bag here.
Sounds good.
But I left enough for everybody, because I am a nice fellow.
Cool.
Thank you, Nathan. You're the host. I am merely a guest.
Maybe I should drop Yuri. I like her. I like her diagonal projectiles and stuff.
Kind of a shit character. Well, you do have 41 other characters.
I don't want to just choose characters that are good because they're good. Well, I got Joe. Joe's not great, he's not horrible. Maybe I should pick somebody like you, Honda.
Alright, so let's do a 2 out of 3 set.
Okay.
I'll pick my regular team. Rest stuff.
What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001. But the road to
Tiny Honda.
victory is not an easy one. The champion team will need more than luck to win this tournament. Next location is
I learned roll cancel hand slaps.
Yeah. That's gonna be rough.
I have a hard time with that.
This is gonna be a match to remember.
Even harder, I think.
No safe ball seems fun thing to do, but all the times you surprise people isn't worth the time to get by it.
I just don't want to keep getting combo. It's a choice of, you know, keep getting comboed and stuff on the ground or safe fall.
Don't safe ball because I'm like, well, it's free basically.
Okay, well you can kill me for free if I don't safe fall too. It's a 50-50.
That's
I
not.
have to figure it out.
I don't safe ball all the time. Like especially if you're right next to me.
Okay, but I don't know combos. You do.
Oh, I see.
Right?
You need to lab up, son.
That's very true.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! Feel the calm before the storm as the round begins.
Oh! I want Domino's pizza right there.
I think you crossed me up on accident so you didn't get it.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
Oh! You could have done better there. Bye, bye. Bye. Actually.
The Millionaire Fighting 2001. What an incredible cast of warriors has gathered here. However, only one team shall be crowned the champion of the Millionaire Fighting 2001.
I'll choose Vega.
The road to victory is not an easy one.
Ooh, no Vega.
Will need more than one to win this tournament. They will have to demonstrate a keen mind and steady nerves in order
See, like, so like somebody like Bison,
I can't wait.
as long as you're not playing them in A groove, it's fine. You know, K groove, okay, whatever. But, you know, if your main groove is like C and you play Bison, sure. It's like that's like a not that's like such a low tier. That's kind of fair enough to where it doesn't really matter if you're playing that character. If you're playing them in like an off. Yeah, it's just all the same. Like, you know, it's like Dr. B. Like if you're playing S. Sagat, dog, you can play any goddamn character you want. You have a free path to play S. We're not gonna think anything of it.
Live and let die. Fight!
You never guess wrong if you don't.
I can kick combo.
I mean, no, you don't get keep on combo. Like if you
Use
just,
OTG
if you just regular get up, you just block and wake up instead of getting hit and wake up.
Well, can't you just hit me while I'm on the ground?
No. There's a very with Kyo. There's only like a very specific time where I can do that. It's either right after the Rekkas or right after that, you know, flame white super. But even then, the timing is very strict. I can't just. This isn't like, you know, Darkstalkers where I can just, or Vampire Stage where I can just get you off the ground anytime. It doesn't work like that. Always just stay down. Just stay down. Just stay down. Ooh. I'm right here.
Go for broke. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack out of the way.
Alright.
Good games.
Good game. TBS2. Don't match with Come on. So I think actually
Capcom
in
versus
menu of my screen.
SNK2.
Twitch TV. Twitch.tv/WindyMan. Hi everybody. I'll be watching me on my own stream.
Yeah. His link to the stream, by the way, is in the
I think you
description at the
actually need
bottom.
to fix it because I did manage to get my Twitch name
Oh,
correct.
okay.
So it's I-W-I-N-D-Y, not W-I-N-D-I. So
Okay.
I want to fix that in your.
I'll do that.
So, but I'm going to play a Magical Touches Challenge on stream later this month. I don't know when.
Yeah, follow him.
That'll probably be like a semi-regular thing. Kind of like, go to the monthly. Hey, it's a Magical Touches time.
You know, I tried uploading our Magical Tetris Challenge video, and I got copyright flagged for music
Music, man.
on YouTube, so...
Is that Disney music?
Yeah. No, not Magical... Tetris 99. It might have been Tetris Effect also.
Well, it's probably...
So, I think it was a night for both of those, and got copyright flagged.
Yeah, it's just the slap on the wrist copyright flag, not the...
Yeah, it was they wouldn't let me upload it. It was that kind of flag. Yeah, because like a lot of times I get flagged for under Night in Birth, and it's like, hey, you don't need to do anything, just want to let you know you're using copyrighted music.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it. And they just let me keep uploading it. I don't monetize any of my stuff anyway, because I don't have the followers or subscribers or whatever. But the Touches one, it was like, you can keep a private version of this, but you can't make it go public. Oh damn, okay.
Yeah, like right now I'm not really worried about YouTube archiving.
Capcom versus SNK 2.
Like if I get affiliate, I'd be like, oh cool, that's neat. I'll probably just follow me. Sure, it's on you guys. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, for our Guilty Gear stuff, me archiving that's very important.
Yeah. Full fighting and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe not like just us playing CVS2 tonight together, which I will. This will be up on YouTube as well. Like the Smash Brothers stuff, I figure it's important to put that up there too. By the way, for those of you who watch me for other stuff, I will be doing Paper Mario tomorrow. I'll be continuing that. My awesome voice acting.
Like for me though, like my dilemma at the moment, because obviously I have the N64 game now, but like I don't have like all the like I don't have my TV set up. I don't have all like the retro cabling set up to actual consoles yet. But like, well, I can emulate it, and technically it's legal to actually own the game.
Right.
But the N64 emulation always will be suspect.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And if I had to emulate the N64 game, it would be passable, but it wouldn't be quite. But they also have the PlayStation version. Of course, that only came out in Japan. So then everything's in Japanese, well, as far as like the story text goes.
Yeah, that's important.
But the gameplay and obviously higher quality music. So
I was thinking of getting repro carts for Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6 for Super Nintendo. I already own Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3 for Super Nintendo, but there are fan translation versions of the Japanese version. And Final Fantasy 4, for example, in Japanese was much more difficult. And Final Fantasy 6, they cut a couple suggestive scenes in the game for the US version. So I'd rather play those with like fan translations than the originals. That's kind of what I mean.
Now couldn't they just like basically port over English game and then just kind of that stuff?
Not quite that simple. From what I understand. I mean, they could just take the script and just put the script in.
I mean, at least that.
But I think it's actually a good opportunity for them to retranslate it, because like Final Fantasy 6, for example, I think what it was they gave Ted Woolsey the script and said, here, translate the entire thing in 40 days, and it has to fit inside of the game. Go. And he's just like, because he translated 6. I don't know if he translated 4 or not. But he's been interviewed about a lot of that stuff. He's like, man, I wish I did a better job, but they give me like 40 days to do the entire game script and fit it within the, within the game program itself.
I mean, even if it is just text, that's a lot of text.
It's a lot, yeah. Ted Woolsey, fan translated. You can see the background moving there in that angle.
No, you can. I'm just like, to completely switch gears here. But this is, in my opinion, I think in most people's list, the worst stage of CBS2.
Yeah.
It's not that, things are happening. I mean, like, you got the Honda and Hamaru floats and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's that the whole concept of the stage on the Nabuta floats going down the street in an actual parade.
But you can't see that it's even moving.
Yeah, like, most of the time, just the angles and how they have... Because they have the street lights going down the left side and the buildings going down the left side.
Yeah, you
But
can only see that from the far right side.
Yeah, and like most of the time, like the party piece of the level is like so minimized to the point of it's basically a static stage and looks bad.
Yeah.
And it's like all orange. Like the
Yeah,
floats
all
are
the same
definitely
color.
a lot more colorful than that.
Yeah.
And one of the worst things is that because like in this game random isn't really random, it's roulette.
Yeah.
So like if you're just like mashing through the versus screen, like you'll get that stage a lot. It sucks.
I guess if you use random, you're not going to get the raining house. Oh.
Well, no, now that you've unlocked it, you will.
Okay.
It's just that you just want to like, every time you press random, especially with character select random, you want to just kind of like press the button at a random, a regular interval instead of just mashing it the second you. Otherwise, you'll very frequently get the same stage or the same characters.
But yeah, so Ted Woolsey, he worked for Square US, and he translated Final Fantasy VI. He translated Chrono Trigger. He translated like the big Square, like English translations. And yeah, he was talking about a lot of that, where like you can tell when he started translating it, like the translation started getting way better. Yeah, like Final Fantasy IV, which was not great. The infamous Spoony Bard. Yeah. Which is interesting because like they've retranslated Final Fantasy IV on like all these remakes. They don't just take the Super Nintendo translation; they actually go and retranslate it.
Yeah.
And whenever they do that, at least for the current stuff, they'll leave that line in because they understand how important that line is to keep in there. So when he says "you Spoony Bard," like if you get a new port like the one for PSP, still says "you Spoony Bard." And same with like I think they do that on the NDS when I haven't gotten that part in the NDS. But like there was one, I think the PlayStation 1 port, they didn't put that part of the translation in, and people were upset. Like, okay, I guess we have. What is a Spoony Bard? We know what a bard is, but why are you spoony? And how does that make any sense? Anyway, sounds like Wendy needs to go home and get some sleep.
Well,
He's got work tomorrow morning.
This is the tournament for the new millennium. You'll experience the most exciting battle in history.
I don't like lead right away. I kind of think I like
Wind up.
Feel the intensity when power and technique collide.
But yeah, I think definitely know what the super thing.
I'm doing all right with Law. What I'm doing. I just need to find out 2 other characters to get better at. I like Joe. And I think I've been getting better with Joe. With his normals, I kind of understand him a bit more.
Yeah.
Welcome to the revolution. Capcom.
I think I need to find a good alternative for Yuri at this point, though.
Mark
there's
of
plenty
the
of,
millennium, 2001.
Plenty of characters in the mid tier.
I could just choose
compete
Sagat.
against.
But I want a character that works with K-Groove, because I just really like just defending.
All good.
All records are
No,
meant to
no,
be
no.
broken.
What's wrong with Blanca, K-Groove?
Good. Small
Is that a
jump,
problem?
small jump Blanca. I mean, small jump Blanca.
These are the current top team rankings.
Look at that. I won 16 in a row. Yosuke.
The new Samurai Showdown looks really good.
Oh, hey, they're releasing Sam Show 5 Special, ACA Arcade Archives game. So if you want to pay $8 and just get it on Switch,
Okay.
for instance, I'm thinking about
It's on PS4.
Yeah, it's already on PS4.
Do they have Sam Show 2 on Switch also? I know they
Uh,
have Sam Show 1.
yeah, I think so. But the thing is that, like the version we were playing, I think was technically like the home version.
Yeah.
Whereas
yeah,
this is
the-
going to be the arcade version.
Okay.
Alright, I'm done.
I hear they're releasing a bunch of different Final Fantasies on the Switch also.
For all the Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy.
I mean, like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9.
I paid $23 for a old Final Fantasy game. Guess people still are, yeah.
I mean, if you get it for the original console, it's worth more than that. You know, go get Final Fantasy 7 for PS1. Probably a good $35.
Let's go buy it.
That's what they should have released instead of a remake.
Oh, hey, to that.
Yeah.
Hear the initial info about the PS5?
A little bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, one of the things I heard, actually about it, they're saying that, you know, obviously the PS5 is going to be backwards compatible with PS4 games.
That's what they're saying, yeah.
But they could do like a Zelda thing and have games that are kind of like, you know, bridge games that are come out on both PS5 and PS4. It's like, you know, Zelda, you know, came out for Wii. Breath of the Wild came out for Wii U and Switch. So now they're going to be games like, you know, specifically optimized, you know, PS4 version and like the PS5 version at the same time, or so being speculated.
Yeah.
So, you know, like one of the first games that people kind of thought about in that regard was Death Stranding. But you mentioned the Final Fantasy 7 remake, and I'm like, all of a sudden, like, wait a second, that could be one of those games too.
Yeah.
Ghost we got it.
Yeah, and that's why I was joking around too in the Guilty Gear Discord. Like, the reason why they haven't been doing a PS4 port of Plus R is they're waiting for the PS5 to come out so they can do a PS5 port of Plus R.
Double Plus R.
Yeah. One thing that does intrigue me a lot with what they were talking about for PS5 is switching everything to solid state as far as like loading's concerned, which would help a lot. Like they had a proof of concept where they were showing Spider-Man game and the loading times on PS4 versus loading times on PS5, just because it's solid state. I think it was like on Spider-Man it took like 16 seconds to load, and the PS5 it took 0.8 seconds to load. That's intriguing. It makes sense to want to have a console that can support 4K HD gaming. 8K, yeah.
Also, 590.
Hey, if it has Plus R on it.
Take my money.
Yeah. How many consoles do I need? 3? Okay.
Capcom versus
Let me go to the bank and take out a loan.
Mark of the Millennium 2001.
Oh, Mr. Nathan, back to donate more blood, I see. Cookie, mighty pale today, sir.
I just want to play as ABBA on PS5. Alright, what's another character that doesn't suck too hard? Like Rugal? Be good or bad? Or
Good.
Rugal's good?
Sound scope. Like, killing him.
I'll check out Rugal.
Sound scope's team is... lately it's Chang, Benimaru, and...
Okay.
I guess it's a little harder for him during the week.
And Soundscope goes pretty far, huh?
I might go down to Don's. I'll ask him. He has stupid name.
Yeah.
These are the current top team rankings.
Like I have I want to have like my
Capcom.
stream set up for CBS2.
Uh-huh.
I got a tripod. I got my 2 webcams thing. My nice webcam. have my older webcam, so I can start doing that. I actually have to check with
You'll experience the most exciting
guys
battle in history.
hospital
Let's get ready to battle. Feel the intensity when power and technique collide. Crush the competition.
Well, you know what? If you're, it depends on what you're streaming. Like for me, I'm just basically streaming webcam off webcam. Yeah. But if you want like to stream the game you're playing and stream at the same time.
Revolution. Capcom versus SNK2.
Like
Mark of the Millennium.
Like if you're playing on Steam and streaming the game you're playing on.
All records are made to be broken.
Like off of a webcam or what? What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean?
Well, it doesn't matter what it's up to. It lives in where it's playing from. So there's the processing power involved in processing and playing the game. Well, I use OBS so I can add a second webcam window. Like with OBS, you can customize the layout of how all the pieces go together. So you see on Nathan's OBS, he's got like the chat window and the names and the second webcam. Yeah, so that's why you would use OBS. If you were just streaming it straight, you could also use OBS just so you can kind of get the best encoding settings, sort of. But
If you're streaming something that's like, if you're not streaming from like just the default stuff on the computer, then you need the hardware to do that as well, and you have either an analog connection or a digital connection. If you have an analog connection, it's actually going to take far fewer resources. Like this, streaming off this, including the webcam and everything, streaming and recording and all that kind of stuff at the same time, is taking about 40% of my CPU. If I was doing HDMI, I'd be streaming and recording at 720p, 60 frames a second, including the webcam. That takes about 80-85% of my CPU. I can record 60 frames a second, 1080p, no problem, but streaming and recording takes a lot of resources.
right, because you need to basically process the same signal twice.
Yeah. Well, there's two different things. So if I'm streaming to, for example, Twitch, the maximum they can allow
8,000
is 6,000. 8,000 is YouTube. The YouTube you get better quality. So Twitch, the most you can get is 6,000. So if I wanted to record 6,000, it wouldn't be double. It would just be that. They might have upgraded. If they did, I should switch mine.
Here, I'm gonna double check.
All records are made to be broken.
Which streaming setting 1980s? Well, I mean, I'm going to test it with a laptop because I haven't really done anything for my laptop before. No. I mean, I'm starting to see what my capabilities are. It's an okay laptop. It's pretty old. I guess it is 6,000.
Yeah. The YouTube's 8,000.
My laptop. Yeah, I got a good deal out of the prize. Trying to remember when I used.
All records are made to be broken.
I think it's probably more than 10. It's got some miles on it. I don't think it's super old. I'll look it up. I mean, like, I don't even bring it over one of these days so you can kind of check it out. But, yeah. But, like, I actually did do a... Huh?
I think you... No.
This is the tournament for the new millennium.
I mean,
You'll experience the most exciting battle in history. Let's get ready to battle. Feel the intensity when
Well, that's kind of a different problem, though, isn't it? Because what you would need to be able to do is And yeah, one of those laptops would need to have like an input source of video. You need to be able to get like you could have it where you're playing on one laptop and streaming off another laptop, but the streaming laptop would need to have
I'm not saying.
Capcom versus SNK2. Mark of the Millennium 2001.
Right, but that's the thing, is that the monitor isn't the thing where the monitor just isn't play. It would be basically it's like you're asking if we're going to record off of this TV. That's not how it works.
Yeah, like if I want to.
Yeah, so you're not recording off the TV. You're recording off the video signal that's coming out of the PlayStation.
Yes.
So you're splitting the video signal between the TV where we are playing it and the computer where you're streaming it. Yeah. So that's basically what you would be doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could do that with a laptop. You could probably, you could, I think you can do it with my laptop, maybe your laptop, we'll see. But, I lost it. Yes, I actually did a streaming test, because I actually have two phones with data plans, like my old phone, because like we were getting our new phone plan, and they basically said, well, you know what, it's basically the same price if you get 3 phones or 4 phones. So we just got 4 phones, and I've got like a 20 gig a month streaming phone if I wanted to use it. So I actually did a stream test where I had my webcam set up. I tried to see what like the bitrate I could actually do with my USB tethering on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I can get like the max download speeds on T-Mobile's 4G at like 1.6, like 1600.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can go to like 1200, that's actually watchable for like webcam off TV.
Yeah, if I stream off my phone, I get about 1600.
Right. But yeah, Mandy, one of the I won't be available this weekend, but if I have a free weekend, I can kind of run you through. Like I'll bring my laptop over, I'll show you. And I have like my Elgato capture card too. Yeah, because yeah, I mean if you were playing like just regular old games off the TV, totally doable for a laptop.
Welcome to the revolution. Capcom versus SNK2. Mark of the Millennium 2001.
I can't.
Yeah, I mean the only limitation is like if it's a multi-core laptop, it could be fine, and most modern ones are. Yeah. So yeah, Manny, I mean seriously, Manny, like I'm sure Nathan can help you with some questions too, but we can run you through OBS, how to set up a stream layout, input sources, what help you. Yeah, we'll figure something out for you, Mandy.
I mean, if you're wanting to record, it's an issue.
All records are made to be broken.
So are you streaming and recording, or just?
Yeah.
I'm saying
If you have the hardware,
I'm saying I would have.
These are the current top team rankings.
Saying that if
Capcom.
I'm gonna shut down streaming right now, guys. So I'll see you guys later. I'm doing Paper Mario tomorrow. So we're doing Guilty Gear on Friday also. Good night, guys.